Okay, welcome back to NOLA Motorsport Park as the cars are already on track for our next race, which is F4 Americas. And I'm delighted to be joined here in the booth by Oliver Westling, who hails from California via Sweden. He's been out in action, and he'll be out in action again, so he may not be here for the whole race because he's got to go and race himself. But I love the fact that we've got drivers in here who have actually sampled and tasted and raced the track that we are looking at the moment. And Oliver, what do you think here? First and foremost, your impressions of NOLA Motorsport Park and what it's like to race?
No, NOLA Motorsports Park. It's probably one of the most physical tracks out of the calendar. I think that some other tracks, they have a little bit more straights, so you can relax a little bit before you hit the next turn. But it's by far the most physical and mental stressful track of the year. So yeah. I just think it's tough for everyone, you know, first race of the season. Everyone's trying to get the gist of the car and what the car is doing. So yeah, definitely by far the most physical track of the season.
And as we're on the warm-up lap, give us a little potted history of your getting to FR. You are a level above this in Formula Regionals. So what was your backup or backing to get to this point?
So yeah, no, I started in Formula 4 last year at the beginning of the season. It was going well overall, and I thought that there wasn't a point to mess around in the lower divisions because I knew the potential that I had. So we decided to do the last two races of the FR America season, and that worked out wonderful. Finished in the high in the points at Virginia, and got a podium at Coda. But yeah, no, I think the F4 series is a great series. It's great for people to learn about racecraft, learn the speeds of cars. So yeah.
How many of these drivers have you either raced against or know, and sort of have a feeling about in terms of how they're going to go today?
I've raced against a couple of drivers. So Alex Berg is another returning that I raced with last year.
Yep.
Tyke Durst, Cole Bennett, Madison Aust. They're all great drivers. I'm really impressed by Carl Bennett's performance this season. He started, he had a great first race, P1. I mean, that's the perfect way you want to start a season. So yeah, Tyke Durst has shown great speed too. Alex Berg, he's doing well as well. So yeah, I think the returning drivers that I've raced with, they're on good feet.
Well, Carl Bennett won a race. So too did Jimmie Lockhart, who won the previous race this morning. He lines up fourth on the grid in the 48, and it's going to be interesting because the usual suspects, if you like, from the weekend so far are at the sharp end for this third and final race for them. That's Michael Costello, Patrick Woods-Toth from Canada, Lewis Hodgson, the Aussie, and then Jimmie Lockhart, Daniel Cará, the Brazilian-American, Jesse Lacey, the Australian, in 6th position, Alex Berg, who you mentioned there, Carl Bennett, who I just mentioned there, in 8th position, having had a win under his belt, the American tie. But a full grid, and now you see the length, just how long that long main straight is from the pit lane and from high above on the drone. But away we go then, and the race is underway, and somebody moved very quickly indeed, hopefully not too quickly. But out of the heat haze they come, and it's the run towards that first corner. And it is the 27 of Patrick Woods-Toth, who's got a very good start, but doesn't take the lead. Just slots into second place there, I think, or maybe third. But a good clean start. Michael Costello looking to hold off the field. 27, that is Patrick Woods-Toth. He's right there, just trying to chase down the number 30, Lewis Hodgson, who made a better start, in fact. And now side-by-side stuff as one of the
Alex Berg's got an amazing start already.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was. I got lost on my Jay Howard. It's the Jay Howard car that leads, but yeah, Alex Berg got a good start as they head out of turn 4 and 5, and it is Jay Howard development car that leads the way. Not sure out of how many there are. It is which car at the moment? I'm thinking it's Michael Costello. It should be Michael Costello.
Yeah.
And as they head out of 6 and down to the back and to the S's for the first time.
Oh, Alex Berg is getting it.
Oh, he's on it. Whoa!
Oh, a little sideways.
Wow, and damage one of the rear casings coming off the engine there. I'm not sure to which car, but we'll find out in a moment. But that could easily bring out the safety car if it stays on track. They've all got through there. And as they dive into 13 and up towards the Mission Foods corner for the first time, all sorts of drama here. But the race is led by Michael Costello, leading the way after the first lap and starting to inch away from the rest of the field. Good start then from Costello. They cross the line. The opening lap, a 1:51. Those lap times will drop. Everybody jostling for position because this is one of the overtaking places. Lockhart, Jimmie Lockhart up to 2nd place, but Berg's the man on the move, up to 5th place. And you know this kid, right?
Yes, I know. Yeah, he's done well last season. He's showing terrific speed this year, and oh, here he comes. Yep.
Yeah, he's on it. You can't miss him in that pink helmet, can you?
Yeah. No, I love the pink helmet. He's definitely unique in that way. Oh, here we go.
Well, Lockhart going for the lead now. Jimmie Lockhart, who won the 2nd race and now leading the race. He got ahead of Costello in a nice infield move there. So it is Lockhart now moving into the lead. 22 minutes to go. Hodgson still 3rd. Woods-Toth drops to 4th place. The Canadian Berg is the man we've been watching. He just got past the man from Houston, Texas, Daniel Cará, who was up here a moment ago doing some commentary with us. Then it's the Australian Lacey. Sherlock is 8th. For Kiwi Crosslink Motorsport. Likewise, Kleck in 9th. Bennett is 10th at the moment. And watch for Mossman to come out.
Yeah, that was an amazing move by Lockhart. I think in turn 4, there's oh,
well, I'll let you see it again while this action is going. But have another look at it. What do you think, Oliver?
So I think that's a perfect move. Holding the inside, he was on the outside of turn 3, went on the inside of turn 4. So that move is already done before it happened.
How easy are these cars? And I say easy because they're all hard, but I mean, you're very close quarters. There's Daniel Cará on the inside there, Berg just ahead, and the 31 of Titus Sherlock. They are wheel to wheel, but how comfortable do you feel racing at these close quarters? I mean, you've all done karts, I know, so, you know, are you fine with slicks of wings being these close?
I love it. Rubbing is racing. These these cars are amazing, especially F4, because the cars are so close at most of the part of the track. So I think that when you're running close with other cars, it's always exciting because you know they're really talented guys, and they want to get a shot at every turn they can.
Nice move by Sherlock. Titus Sherlock making the move on Berg and gets it done. Daniel Cará now having a sniff himself. This is really good racing. 4 of them involved, including the number 16 of Jesse Lacey, the Australian. So this is fantastic. We've got a 6-way battle here in the midfield. And it starts with Berg, Sherlock, Cará, Lacey, and just behind Kleck and Mossman in the top 10.
Yeah, Alex Berg is looking really impressive now. He's got great race pace, so I think that he can move up further and further.
Yeah, 5th at the moment, and like you say, experience starting to show here. Oh, there's the damaged car. That's one of the Jay Howard development cars, and that's had its rear end ripped off, and the driver's okay. He's out of the car, but he's just putting the thumbs up and can't see the number, but the back end of that car is absolutely ripped off.
Wow.
Now, don't know if that's the one that had the engine cover go off or it's a different incident. I've got a feeling it's a different incident because there was damage to the rear suspension. Yeah, I think that's a crash between a couple of cars. Another of those cars is car 17, that's Tyke Durst. Let's take a look at it, Oliver, and we'll see it for the first time now, but I'll let you judge it for what we see. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that he ran out of road. Someone might have squeezed him out.
Right.
Maybe they were in their blind spot. So yeah, that's always tough when you get squeezed out, because once you get on the grass, once you drop those wheels on the grass, it's praying they're on.
Yeah. Well, it's Gatorsville out there. You don't want to be out on the grass here at Louisiana.
Yeah.
Now, I always think this is a hard time for a racing driver. I've often said this. Tell me what happens now when you slow right down, you've done 3 or 4 laps, your adrenaline's been flowing, and then you have to kind of regroup, don't you?
Yeah, no, it is nice in a way to slow the pace down and regroup, because you get to analyze what you've been doing in these past laps and what you can, the weaknesses of the drivers ahead of you, the mistakes they might have done in the earlier laps. So yeah, I think the slow down lap really gives you time to settle down and just think about what you're gonna do in the once the safety car goes back in.
So we're looking at high above the main part of the circuit here at NOLA, and we're under caution. Lockhart, Jimmie Lockhart, won race 2, leading the way. The race 1 winner, Bennett, down in 11th at the moment. And Mossman just inside the top 10. Cará was in that battle that we were watching. And here is that group, led by Berg. Sherlock got into it as well, but now, I mean, do you start thinking about the restart as you're going around? I mean, are you talking to your engineer? What do you go through in terms of systems check?
So, well, before the restart, you want to be right on the tail of the other car. If you don't have a good restart, then you might fall back too quick, because during the last turn, once you start accelerating, that's around the last turn, the carousel going onto the main straight. So I think that you want to prepare right on the last few turns before the carousel. You want to be right along the gearbox, but not too close, because you know the front car can't brake, and then you can have a wing damage. And yeah, I think it's very crucial, the restarts. Yeah, no, you really have to be prepared. You have to be ready at all times, because some drivers may not know that the safety car is coming in. It might not be focused and see that. So yeah, you really have to be dialed in right along the safety car lap.
Well, you're listening to Oliver Westling, who's joined me here in the booth for this F4 race, but we're going to take a short break while we're under caution, and we'll get back to the action from NOLA right after this.
The Mission Foods Atlanta Speed Tour returns to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta March 24th through the 26th, featuring the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, the Sports Car Vintage Racing Association International GT. Saturday, take part in the Haggerty Cars and Caffeine Car Show with Parade Laps. You do not want to miss the Mission Foods Atlanta Speed Tour March 24th through the 26th. Advanced ticket discounts and camping is available. For tickets, simply go to speedtour.net.
Welcome back. As you can see, we're under caution, the Honda Civic. And interestingly enough, if you're wondering why we have a Honda Civic, well, all the engines that you're looking at in the back of these F4 cars are Honda Civic R engines. And in FR, the one that Oliver Westling races in, we have the Honda Civic R, but with the turbocharge. So a big, heavy presence from Honda, and we welcome them to the series, as they do, and they're offering big prize money. If you can win this series, you will get an entry into the FR series and $25,000 for your work. So it's well worth trying to win out. And if you are in Oliver's position, Oliver Westling, the man who's alongside me, you could be going for a chance to go into the Super Formula in Japan with a win in FR. So Honda has put some enticing prizes for these young men and women out there, and this is the whole point, though. We want to make sure, as an FIA championship, these guys get a chance of winning Super License points, because they all want to get into Formula One, but there are only 20 cars, of course, and therefore sometimes you have to accept that professionally racing cars. Oliver, I haven't asked you what's your ambition. Where do you want to be?
I want to be a Formula One champion. My dream is to win this championship in FR, to get the scholarship going to Japan to race Super Formula. I think we have a good shot at it this year. There's been some struggles in this weekend, but I'm definitely a top 3 car, and I think we can easily fight throughout the season to make that happen.
Well, Sweden has got a good history. We've got the likes of Stefan Johansson, who went to Formula One, obviously Marcus Ericsson, and both of them still involved. Of course, Johansson managing drivers now, including Scott Dixon, and of course Marcus Ericsson doing a hell of a job now in IndyCar racing. And that's the beauty of being in your position, is that yes, it's great to have that goal, and I still got to play centre forward for England up front, but Harry Kane's there at the moment, so you know. Yeah. We've all got our dreams, but I'm not mocking yours by any means. I hope you make it, but it is tough. But the beauty of motor racing at the moment is there are options either side, and sometimes, like Marcus, you could make it all the way to Formula One, and then the opportunity comes somewhere else, and then you take it.
Right. No, yeah, I think IndyCar is a great series. Formula One is not the only option. If you're a driver and you love car racing, you're gonna have a great time in either series. But Formula One is the tip top of the iceberg, and I think that Formula One will be an amazing achievement if you end up to be a Formula One champion.
Well, Sweden well known for its rally car drivers, and they love their racing in Sweden. Yes, it's cold in the winter, I'll give you that, but they love their racing, I can assure you.
Yes, sir.
And we've had some great Swedes and Danes come to, and of course Finns, to race around the world, and we welcome you. Oliver Westling here as we're about to go starting racing again, and Lockhart, Jimmie Lockhart will lead this massive field to the race start again, and this is an important part of the race. You've got to get away well from the start, but also if you're the man chasing, you've got to make it happen now. Costello eyeing his way through. Woods-Toth in the 30 and the 27, excuse me, right there in the middle. Hodgson's in the middle there too. Everybody coming into Berg now in 5th place, trying to make it up another spot. Oh, it's nip and tuck as they come into 3. But it is Jimmie Lockhart still leading just about. What are the... well, that was Costello going wide, but just gets back in. He got lucky there, to be honest, because he could have got hung out to dry. He's still in 3rd at the moment.
I'm really impressed by Jimmie Lockhart's race pace. He's stretching it from the beginning, so it's a good sight to see.
Really good, yeah. Jimmie Lockhart leading the way at the moment. But now trying to get away from this group of chasing, and this is an important lap, because if you can break it in this opening lap with everybody else getting up to speed and having their own battles, as Berg is doing there right in the middle of your shot, in what, 6th place now? "11 minutes to go, so not a lot of time as they dive into turn 13. And you can see some overtakes being done and being executed nicely. And if you don't get it done here, coming into that 13, then it's really hard to do anything else around the outside like they're trying here, a couple of them. And onto the main straight again. And this front shot really shows you just how long this straight is. But Lockhart continuing to lead and continuing to extend that lead.
Oh, wow.
The gap 0.9, but the battle are really on now between Costello and Hodgson.
That was a good move by Costello.
Yeah, really good. Costello back up to 2nd place now, but here comes Hodgson again. As he's got to have the line going into 3 at Bennett's. He's got it. Can he hold it? He does send Costello high and wide, but last time Costello came back, and he's doing the same again this time. Meanwhile, the 31 of Sherlock, Titus Sherlock, coming into the battle.
Yeah, Costello's being pressed.
This is excellent stuff. I went to the driver briefing the other day and listened to Scott Goodyear tell everybody to keep it clean, keep your nose clean. You've got to finish the race. You're investing a lot of money to go racing. You want to be the best, but being the best does not mean you get into an accident and ruin your weekend. I know this is the last race of the weekend, but every race counts for points, and more importantly, when people are looking at drivers for the future, they want to see them race clean but race hard.
And I think it's great with these F4 cars. The slipstream is so powerful in these cars, so when you're on the straightaway, you're going to get a massive slipstream. And I think in the F4 cars, they're much easier to overtake in the F4 cars, because somehow the slipstream isn't very strong in the F4 car.
Yeah, interesting enough, you get more aero wash, but you don't get as much of a slipstream. I think these smaller cars are kind of like more suited, a bit like Miata racing, to slipstream racing in groups. And you could just slingshot out, just exactly like you're seeing how they're weaving from side to side. It's not because they're lost, it's because they're trying to avoid being followed, quite literally. And Hodgson doing a good job in 2nd place. But through comes the 27, Woods-Toth, nicely done, into 3rd place behind Costello now.
Very clean.
Nice move. Berg still there in the top 6. Then it's Lacey. Mossman moving up. He's gone from 10th to 8th position. Carrá's dropped to 10th. And Hauanio is in what, 9th position, the man from Fort Lauderdale in Florida. So the race starting to settle down, and if anything, Lockhart pulling away. The gap 1.6 seconds now. And where do you start to feel comfortable? About 2 seconds, you go, okay, I got some control here.
Yeah, I think I mean, you want to be pushing, but I think that just around 2 seconds, or you should start feeling comfortable.
Yeah, 2 seconds though in a race like this could be gone in a matter of moments. So yeah, I don't think you're ever too comfortable.
Right.
But there you go.
Yeah, this racetrack, there's no comfort riding. You're jumping around with the car at all moments except the straightaway. So I think that it's a little different from riding in a limousine.
No kidding. So here we go then, looking at the times, looking further down the charts and looking at who's going where. Hannah Greenemeier into the top 20, she's just behind Christopher Parrish at the moment, Parrish. And then Landan Matriano Lim in 18th position, Benavitz in 17th, Maddy Aust, the girl you mentioned earlier, she's the highest female at the moment in 16th position, and then she's just behind Eric Wisniewski, who is coming to the season for the first time this year. As we've got more battles going on, as once again it involves Hodgson in the 30, in the middle of your shot there behind him, Woods-Toth of Canada from Quebec.
I think the battle between Costello and Hodgson, it's slowing them down a little bit because Lockhart is seeming to get away.
Well, Lockhart's put in some excellent laps in the last few laps, and his last lap a 1:43.9, so he's on a much better pace. Everybody else in the 44s. There is one other car, that's Daniel Cará in the 1:43s, but there he is on the outside in the all yellow there, the Brazilian colors on the car, the man from Houston, Texas. And Brazil, or via Brazil, just like Oliver's from via Sweden. There's the casing that we were talking about. It is the number 30, yeah. So it was Lewis Hodgson who lost the casing on the first lap by the looks of things.
Wonder how that happened.
I know. You'd think that the engineer's going to get, or somebody's going to get in trouble for not doing that up properly. Oh well. So Lockhart continued to dominate here. 2.4 seconds he's now got on the chasing pack, but that's just that. A chasing pack of Hodgson, Costello, Woods-Toth and Berg, and Sherlock also involved in that. Mossman up to 7th now. He's come into play as Lacey drops to 8th. So this little battle here between 3rd and 8th position is both a great battle, but also helping Lockhart move ahead and move away. And you can see the gap now as we look at the main straight. You can see where the leader is. He is absolutely pulverizing the competition here.
Yeah, that's a big of a stretch.
Yeah,
oh, here we got some
3
weaving.
seconds down. Now we got some weaving on the straight. Are we going to get some overtakes? Costello trying to defend, and he just about holds off Woods-Toth then. Now Berg on the stripe now, on the charge now. Mossman ahead of him. But round the outside, surely not. He's going to give it a go.
Maybe give it a little over-under.
Yeah, maybe do the switchback. Here he goes. But well, he might. So Alex Berg makes the move. But unfortunately, the 4th corner is a right-hander, and he has to slot back into place. Good racing, though.
Yeah, very clean.
And do you find, as the season goes on, your racecraft gets better, you get more used to what the car's going to do underneath you, and when you can catch a moment where it's going to get out of shape, and you're just more proficient with it?
Yeah, I think the racecraft definitely increases. The more race time you have, the more you're going to learn from what other drivers are doing and how your car is handling. So yeah, definitely your racecraft is definitely increasing the more you race. And yeah, when you get so many races in the season, you definitely develop as a driver.
Now there's a yellow flag waving there in 13. I wonder if that is a caution coming out. Yeah, they have slowed down, so I think we could be seeing a caution here with 4 minutes to go, and that is the reason why. Yep, it's Maddy Aust, the female driver, coming back for a 2nd year for Crosslink Kiwi. Had a chat with her at lunch the other day, enjoying her racing. She's from Colorado. Oh, excuse me, she's from Dallas, Texas. What am I talking about?
Yeah, she might have had an engine issue. I don't see that she went off in a bad place.
Now, the question is, can they clear it up in time? They've got a digger out there or a crane out there very quickly indeed. And now Jimmie Lockhart is going, please finish this race.
Yeah.
Whereas Michael Costello is going, right, I need to give Jay Howard a win here for the weekend.
Yeah, Costello is slowly preparing.
Good effort by Frankie Mossman. He's come back to 5th place, dropping Berg back to 6th. And Daniel Cará up to 7th now. So it could be a really good or interesting restart if we get one. Where do you like to race? You've got a big season ahead of you, lots of different tracks. Where's a good one for you?
I think that VIR, Virginia, is my strong track. Yeah, I love going through those S's and the chicanes. It's one of the best feelings because you are flat out even in that far cars through those turns. So yeah, I think that Virginia has a lot of high-speed corners and mid-speed. Yeah, Coda is another great one. Circuit of the Americas is a great car for the F4 Americas, but I do think that it is a little too big for an F4 car, but the F4 cars do great there always.
Yeah, we've had some great racing over the years there. It looked like another car stuck out on track just out of turn 4 by the looks of it, or going into turn 4. Oliver's got to go. He's got to go and get into his car, so we wish Oliver Westling, watch out for the #1 car. It's the blue, and it is, yeah. Oh, wow, it's a nasty moment. So thank you, Oliver, for coming in here, and it is car number 7 that's stuck out on track. So another incident, not the one that we thought of, and we wish Westling some good luck in the next race, and unfortunately this car is not going anywhere, and it's going to get yanked out of, that's Eric Wisniewski, who's only in his first weekend. He was a development driver last year, so he did a bit of SVRA. He was too young to do the series, so you have to be 15, and he was just a little too young. So he's now in the championship, but has been involved in an incident of some sort, and it was parked up there. So whether they get him out of the way, it could mean that we finish under caution here. But my thanks to Oliver. We wish him well in his race. Watch out for the man from Emerald Hills, California, in the #1 Jensen car. The blue and blue, light blue and dark blue car. We'll see in action very soon. So what can Jimmie Lockhart do at this restart? Or will he need to do one, I wonder? The guys are usually pretty proficient here, and Scott Goodyear will make the call as to when the safety car can come off, but certainly not now. And they'll have to do at least another lap, but the clock ticks down, and my fear is that this will finish under caution. But remember, this is basically high school for high school aged kids, really. But no, this is high school of motor racing. This is where you learn your trade, you learn what motor racing is all about. And if you do make it to Indy, and you do make it to Formula One, these are the kind of cars, although they're much smaller, these ones, but you're going to be driving similar sort of cars with similar sort of technology, with engineers, with data, with tires that need to stay warm, with wings that need to get you downforce. So the basics are right here. This is your intro to motor racing, if you will. Karting is the first step. Formula 4 is the second step. And I mentioned this early this morning. What you're looking at now is the future of the sport. And while all of them can't go to the dizzy heights and make it all the way, this is where Lando Norris started, in F4 in England. And there are F4 championships all around the world. And it's a great starting point. And from there, you can go up to Formula Regional, which is the F3 class. And from there, it spreads right out because you have several different international Formula 3 class championship and Formula Regional championships. And if you can make it through there, just as Hunter Yaney did from the United States, then you could make it to the FIA F3. Hunter Yaney going from F4 here in the States into FR and then on to FIA F3. Another route would be like Raoul Hyman. Starting out in single-seaters, he made it up to FR. Had to take a couple of years off during COVID and then came back and dominated in FR last year. And the English driver born in South Africa, is now racing with a Honda team in Super Formula, which is, again, one step away from Formula One. So this is where it all begins. But if you get it right, within a matter of just a couple of years, you can be at the dizzy heights of potentially earning a living out of motor racing, if not being a huge success, and finding your way onto the fabled F1 grid. Question is, are we going to get restarted? Just a reminder, Jimmie Lockhart leading this race at the moment under caution in the Velocity Racing Development Honda. Michael Costello behind him in the J. Howard development car. Patrick Woods-Toth just behind him, the Canadian in the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport Honda. Crosslink Kiwi, the most successful team here. Gary Orton, Tina Larson, running teams both here in America and in New Zealand, from their base in Nelson in New Zealand and their American base here in Dallas, Texas. You'll have heard some of the drivers talking about going to Crescent and testing. They are based right by the Crescent circuit, just outside Dallas, Texas. And they've had a huge success of bringing young drivers and making them into young stars of the future, no question about it. This then the final lap, and as we expected, it's going to finish under caution, and sure enough, there is the checkered flag. But that doesn't mean it's bad news for Jimmie Lockhart, because that means it's a double win for him, and he's going to lead the championship after NOLA. So it's a win for Jimmie Lockhart, his second of the weekend for Velocity Racing Development in Kiwi. And Michael Costello for J. Howard takes second place, and Patrick Woods-Toth takes third. Hodgson is fourth. Mossman, Frankie Mossman is fifth, Alex Berg is sixth, and Daniel Cará seventh. Further down, Jesse Lacey of Australia eighth. Kekai Hauanio is in ninth position, and Titus Sherlock drops down to 10th after being embroiled in a accident of some sort. But well done to Jimmie Lockhart. That's a great result for the American Aussie. And one that all right, he did it without racing over the line at speed, but it won't matter to him at all. Great result, and it's been a good weekend for him. So, as Jimmie Lockhart takes the victory, we'll take a look at the highlights from that final race of F4 for the weekend. We got off to a good start. Michael Costello trying to defend his position at the front. Casings coming off. And then some good battles. Jimmie Lockhart making this move to take the lead away from Costello. And then safety cars came out. One damaged car there going off onto the grass at the restart once again. Hodgson defending, Costello getting into the lead. And back came Hodgson. Costello going wide, Maddy Aust going off, and so too young Wisniewski in the number 7. And then we finished, as you saw, under safety with Jimmie Lockhart with the win. So they'll make their way back to Parc Fermé, as you can see. We'll take a short break here from NOLA Motorsports Park, and we'll be back with one more race to go from the Speed Tour. Join us in a moment.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine part life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Feel the power. Experience the excitement. You're in the driver's seat. At Skip Barber, you learn from the best. Whether you are a new driver that wants to learn accident avoidance or a seasoned racer looking to improve, we have a program for you. We're your #1 destination for auto racing and driving schools. Skip Barber. Feel the power.